Now, Ukraine's president is in D.C. to meet with President Biden and lawmakers. President Zelensky's trip coming as Congress faces an end-of-the-week deadline to approve new aid for Ukraine before their holiday break. The White House warns the funding for Ukraine runs out by the end of the year. And the Hill's Julia Manchester is here now. Julia, obviously, the war between Hamas and Israel has been a primary focus since October 7th. Does President Zelenskyy, from all of the reporting we've seen, sense pressure to keep Ukraine in the headlines?
Absolutely, Adrienne. And what you're going to see today on Capitol Hill is going to be a charm offensive. You are going to see President Zelenskyy walking into a very different environment in the nation's capital than he has in the past since the beginning of the Ukraine war with Russia. He's obviously facing a very different political environment as Republicans are essentially split over the issue of Ukraine funding. Now, the sticking point here is whether to attach immigration funding and funding for the border to this funding bill in exchange for Ukraine funding. Republicans want that. Democrats, are willing to go without that. But Republicans are very much split on this. So it's going to be a difficult uphill climb for Zelenskyy to get his message across on Capitol Hill this morning.
Well, and it's not just his message. It's the Republican pressure to get President Biden to move on these border issues that have long been, frankly, ignored. So what do we know about that in terms of Ukraine appealing to the U.S. for those funds and President Biden saying he is open to a compromise on the border?
Well, look, it seems like there isn't much movement on this issue as of now in terms of compromise. It seems like we've heard characters from both sides say they're open for a compromise potentially. However, there are some details to be worked out. But like I said, it's going to be a difficult path ahead. And the Republicans themselves are so divided on this issue. Yesterday, we heard Ohio Senator J.D. Vance give an interview to conservative talk show host Steve Bannon, in which J.D. Vance essentially likened Ukraine funding to giving funds to one of Zelensky's ministers for a new yacht. You heard Tom Tillis, another Republican senator from North Carolina, push back on that, calling that a word that I won't say on morning television. But there's a divide not only between Republicans and Democrats, but within Republicans. So that's going to make it difficult for the Ukrainian president.
I want to also quote from J.D. Vance. He said that the U.S. has to accept that Ukraine is going to have to cede some territory to the Russians.
Yes.
This was obviously another controversial claim that he's made, that somehow Ukraine would have to compromise. Are more and more lawmakers, even on the Democratic side, growing weary of the tensions regarding Ukraine and this funding?
Look, I think with what we're seeing in terms of all of the global conflicts, whether it's Ukraine, Russia, the potential for a conflict between China and Taiwan, obviously the war between Israel and Hamas, I think you're seeing lawmakers starting to be very cognizant of the fact that they don't want to put all of their eggs in this, these foreign conflicts when we have so many issues back here at home. So I think they're all cognizant of that going forward. But what you're going to hear Zelenskyy and his supporters, whether they're Ukrainian or American, what they're going to say is that this isn't a fight between just Russia and Ukraine. This is an existential fight about democracy, about the West versus its adversaries in Russia and Iran, and really look to paint or I guess connect those adversaries together in making that argument.
It's hard for the American people, I believe, to juxtapose that with people concerned about who's coming through the border, if there are anyone from the more hostile nations to the U.S. trickling through, getting away from Border Patrol, and whether that should be a national security concern as well. Thank you very much, Julia. As always, good to see you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.